Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashery, and as always, joined by, and again, to my right,
Rob Mendiola.
Greetings, Rob.
Greetings, Doug.
It's a
wet Sunday.
It is a wet.
But you made it.
Foggy Sunday. I made it.
Is it foggy outside?
Yeah. Well, part of the way in.
I haven't ventured out today.
Yeah, part of the way in, and just.
It's warming up a little bit.
Yeah, chances are my my sprinkler head won't bust.
You had that problem
yesterday, but it's luckily we had somebody in the neighborhood that did that. Then that guy messaged me later on because he found out what I did and stuff. He goes, hey, you ought to get in touch with Riff Raff because you know that he put this and he sent the video. I said, dude, in a couple music scenes around the country, and especially part of the Houston music scene, I'll show up and somebody like Chubbs or somebody and say, hey, what's up, shenanigans? I'm like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I said, no, my kids showed me that, man, years ago, yeah. But I think my kids were in high school when they showed me that video, and I was like, but
you'll have to send that to me.
You never seen that?
No.
I got asked that even when I go sit on other shows like in Dallas or somewhere across the country. I'll probably get asked that about every 3 out of 5 times.
Huh. Interesting.
Hey, you ever seen this video? Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that before. And I get a laugh out of it, but yeah.
So what do we have going on today, Doug?
Man, we got nothing going on today. Are we ready to go home yet?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
We have special guests today?
We have special guests today. We're here talking to Jade and
Jade and
Matt
Day.
Matt Day.
So what day is it?
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Yes. It's Jade Matt Day.
So tell me, Jade, you're actually from Abbeville?
I'm actually not from Abbeville. I am from Panama City, Panama. And my dad is from Abbeville, Louisiana.
Okay.
And he met my mother in Panama.
Wow.
While he was in the military.
Wait, no, Panama City's in the beach. That's in Florida. I've been there before.
No,
yeah,
not that Panama.
Trust me, I'd still be there if that was the case.
Yeah.
The one by the canal.
Yeah, the more third world country one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful there, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't been there since I was 15, but
Yeah.
I mean,
That wasn't that long ago.
well, I'm 33, so I mean that was half my life ago.
You don't go trekking for fun in that area between Colombia and Panama. You know that what's it called again? Come on now.
I don't know.
Know your background, damn it.
She says she's from Louisiana, damn it.
I was raised here in America, so I mean I know very bare minimum information about my own country, other than a few historical facts. But we plan now that we have our passports, and we're planning on traveling a little bit more.
Yeah.
Panama's definitely on our bucket list.
That's cool.
To go back, but the problem with this, I have family over there.
You do.
And they don't necessarily live poor, but I mean, they're very much middle class over there. So when we plan to go back there, we want to be able to take care of them while we're there.
Yeah.
So we can't just go get a lavish Airbnb
Yeah.
while they're living.
I didn't laugh at them. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Exactly. Hey, look where we're at, But
Yeah, it's like
Posting
when
your pictures, selfies.
traveling in Mexico. I remember as a kid, I was told it was rich and the very poor. There is no middle class, and
that's exactly what it is over there.
Yeah. A lot of the countries like that are that way.
Yeah.
Very rich or very poor. There's really no in between. My family is sort of on the borderline, but we still try to send money back there as much as we can and take care of them. So
we saw a lot of that in Belize. We were just in Belize a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And it was like you're saying, one extreme or the other.
It is, yeah. It's a shame it's that way. I think they're trying to prevent the U.S. from being like that, too.
But to be honest with you, the people down there don't seem to mind it at all. I mean, everybody's very happy.
I think you have what you need, and that's kind of what they're
that's all they know.
To. Yeah, that's all you know.
Seen them not live in excess.
Right, which is a good thing.
I was kind of wondering, Does Carmen actually live here anymore? Because every time I see her, she's gone.
I think she lives on a volcano somewhere.
She lives in Katy with her husband Shane, and they do a lot of
Oh
traveling.
my God, they travel, dude.
Yeah.
They are always somewhere. I mean, one week she's in Katy, next week she's saying, "Hey, what are you guys doing in April?
Yeah.
We're going to Sweden. Would you like to come for us for 2 weeks?" I'm like,
Good
yeah,
God, that woman
we would
travels,
love
man.
to.
Yeah.
We don't have go to Sweden money right now.
Right.
Yeah, neither do I. But apparently, her and my kids both do. You know. So,
Yeah.
But no, every time I see that woman is on the go, man.
And
Yeah.
we went to a show with them last night, and they were telling us about going to El Salvador and Guatemala and hiking the volcano and seeing videos. It was awesome.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
They do some awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, and I love the pictures because there's some things that I won't do, but I want pictures, and I do appreciate it when my friends travel because it gets me to see a few things that I won't. Because I'm a United States explorer. I'm like,
because you won't get on a plane. So.
Yeah, I quit flying, and I quit
It
flying.
kinda screws you out a lot of things.
In 99. But look, there's a lot of history here where, I'm on a kick with presidential libraries. I've hit I think about a 10 or 11 right now I'm at. And, we did.
But that being said, North America's freaking huge, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'll run, I won't have enough time to hit everything I want to hit.
I mean, if you start even venturing into Canada and Alaska, you can drive to those places still. So.
I mean, even with the amount of traveling that Matt does for his band, I mean, it's impossible to be able to study everything while you're there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what let me know, like you're saying, there's a lot of history here. In the
Yeah,
States.
there
So
is.
You see, like we're on tour and driving around, seeing places like being in like Vermont was one. It's like you never even think about Vermont, and we drove through Vermont in the winter to go into Canada when it was snowing.
Yeah.
Well,
It was gorgeous.
I'll bet,
One of the most
yeah.
gorgeous parts of the country I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
You can go up in Mount Washington up there, and the wind gets like 120 miles per hour.
Wow.
It's the windiest place. Like they had the highest recorded ever wind ever. I can't remember what it is in the United States there, which is just crazy. And
That is crazy.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up what it is. And even with hurricanes, it was faster there. Which is that's insane.
So, Jay, tell us a little bit about what you do with the music scene here.
Well, as of recently, I mean, our production company, L&D Productions, is still fairly new. It's only been going on for 2 years. But for the most part, our whole goal behind L&D Productions was to keep extreme music alive here. And just kind of coming from a musician and a fan standpoint, which we've talked about a couple of times. Matt's very well known in the brutal death metal scene. So whenever him and I got together, I told him about my plans to put together shows and bring people from Europe over and, take advantage of all the bands that we love. Because we've gotten to a point where we put on so many shows and our reputation is so good now that we can be very selective of what we take on now.
Yeah.
And we typically like to stay towards the genre that we're familiar with.
Right.
I book a lot of shows at the pub 529, and I was actually the first person to bring extreme music to the pub. And I mean, now the pub is being spoken about in Germany and
Wow.
Czech Republic,
That's
because
cool.
we have bands that come from the Czech Republic, Gudalax.
Wow.
And they had
Cenotaph
posted
from
and tagged the pub 529, Cenotaph from Turkey, and
Wow.
just having these bands that we love come here and having the privilege of hosting them.
Host them, yeah.
I mean, it's been incredible, and a lot of it has to do with him and his reputation and who he is.
I mean, that's pretty big. 2 years in, and you're already bringing international.
Yeah, and selling out the pub at
The
one point.
first show we did was the Internal Suffering show.
Internal Suffering,
From Colombia.
they're from Colombia. They're pretty big in brutal death metal as well. So for us to get one of those as a first show, I mean,
Yeah.
It was like the idea came from taking it from a different standpoint. A lot of promoters and production companies put on shows to try to make money or try to get themselves out there. And it was like she said, to take from a musician standpoint and a fan standpoint, right? Take care of the bands in a manner in which a musician will want to be taken care of, and then put on a show that fans want to see.
And y'all are doing specific
You said extreme.
Y'all doing the
It started that way.
I've never heard that.
Branched out recently, and Jade's been booking more, pretty much anything that
What
wants
I-
to book at the pub now.
what I liked, and we talked about this yesterday, and we talked about it before about, God damn it, it's just rock and roll. Stop giving me subgenres. But no, but I'm just gonna
It's impossible.
Yeah.
But if I had to name that subgenre of rock or metal, I would call it the calligraphy.
Well, and that's a good way to do it, right? That's one of the things that sets that genre apart as being recognizable. Right?
I know exactly what it. I know exactly what it is.
You're
Yeah.
gonna hear.
You
Like I
know
said-
you're going to get punched in the
Right,
face
and if
if
we
you go
call
to
it
that.
metal, right, we're talking metal has a spectrum from, you look at Metallica all the way through a Cannibal Corpse, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Huge, dynamically different band,
It is,
right?
yeah.
So that's where the there's a great documentary on the subgenres that the name escapes me right
And that's
now,
why the rock
but
and
it's pretty
roll.
awesome.
That's why the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducts people from. And it's like, well, what are they doing? Well, because a lot of everything that blends in. It does, and
100%.
Yeah, but if you go to one of these shows, you're not going to feel rock and roll. You're not.
Oh, there's definitely the elements there, though, in the
Yeah.
songwriting, the composition of the music. If you really break it down, one of my favorite death metal bands of all time is Defeated Sanity out of Germany, right? And it was a family that started it back in the day. Lille Gruber is one of the original members, and his dad Wolfgang Gruber was one of the founders of the band, and he was a jazz musician. So there's a lot of jazz ties and elements.
Yeah, it's
to
very
the
much so.
songwriting. And
Yeah.
but they just got a new guitar player. They've had member cycles over the years. They're from the '90s. So and Vaughn Stoffi, a good friend of mine, is their new guitar player, and he only got into death metal in like 2018, 2019. And he's at a school teaching jazz to
wow.
kids, right? And so
That's
he's
cool.
the perfect fit for that band because that's still the mindset. But yeah, it's if you listen to it, right, you got to
Yeah.
do some digging to find those jazz elements, but
Yeah.
they're definitely in there in the composition of the music.
Most of the stuff that I know about that is, like I said, besides the calligraphy thing, is a lot of it is Nordic inspired, or or
Yeah.
Northern
A
Germany.
lot of black metal
The
is.
black
Yeah,
metal,
we were at
yeah.
a show last night, Necrofire show, local band here in Houston, put on a hell of a show last night. It's
Where was that at?
the Secret Group
Yes.
Secret.
downtown.
I haven't been there
It's,
in a while.
Yeah,
The only thing I know about that place is because Chris Amerson used to be involved with that.
love Chris.
Yeah, and he's a great
I've never been
guy.
there.
A clown.
Yeah, Scabs.
Are you know about
Scabs.
Scabs?
Scabs. Yeah,
Yeah.
Scabs clown.
Yeah, I don't think I know him personally, but
He's a
big
great-
fan,
Known
big
him
great
for
fan.
guy.
a lot of years. The thing about playing extreme metal now is like I have an eclectic music taste. Literally, both of us. We listen to everything. We were listening to Miley Cyrus and Dua Lipa on the way over
Oh,
here.
I love Dua Lipa.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's, I
Great
I
album.
listen to that stuff.
Yeah.
I took her to Madonna. When I bought tickets to Madonna, she's like, everybody's like, oh, well, your wife wanted to go to Madonna? I'm like, no, I wanted to
Yeah,
go to
Madonna's awesome. Yeah,
It's all about that show, man.
So 65 years old.
right.
She performed for 2.5 hours.
That's
And
crazy.
she's walking around on stage with 32-ounce Budweisers.
Wow,
Crushing them. And it's like,
Oh,
I couldn't
awesome.
play
Goals.
for 2.5 hours.
that's heavy metal.
That's how you live forever.
That's heavy metal.
I have
man.
one. There was one more thing that about the death metal also is there actually was a guy that was was he just a murderer or a serial killer? I can't remember. It's one of the first podcasts that I ever listened to, and it's about this story about this guy. You ever heard of a podcast called Last Podcast on the Left?
Last podcast on the left.
Yeah, they talked about it. It's way back. They talk about some weird ass
Yeah.
crap, and that was way back on them, but they covered that guy as well too. So
Well, it's like a serial killer theme is very heavy in death metal. I can tell you, one of my bands, Architectural Genocide, we're putting out a record this year that's
This is the band you play in.
yes, and it's strictly serial killer. Every song is about a different serial killer.
Oh
But
wow.
not famous
Jesus.
serial killers. It's like
Well,
ones-
yeah, we went for like obscure, like not the ones everybody hears about.
Yeah.
Like we have a song called "Stuffed Under Floorboards" about Dennis Nielsen from the UK, who would go around. He murdered about 30 people,
Wow.
and he kept them under his floorboards. So it's
Dang.
like that's,
so they had to stop the beating of that hideous heart. Very Edgar Allan Poe-ish.
Yeah,
telltale
Edgar Allan Poe.
heart.
But
but yeah.
another thing about like the shows that we put on is that I try to encourage people that don't necessarily listen to death metal to still come to a show.
Oh yeah, you'll
Because,
enjoy it.
I mean, my Panamanian mother and
Oh
her
my
best
God, they had the
friend,
best
they're in
time.
their 50s. They don't know anything about brutal death metal. All her son-in-law plays in a brutal death
Yeah.
metal band. But every time they come to a show, they have the best time of their life. So it's like
It's the energy, man. You
it's the
can't deny
energy.
it.
I mean, it's
Exactly.
not for everybody. Of course, she's probably not going to put on a architectural genocide song
Yeah.
in the radio or
They enjoy the shows.
they enjoy the show. So it's like everybody always asks, oh, is this kid friendly? Is this family friendly?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You don't know that they're singing about chopping somebody up.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you what. Anything you can do, step outside like I did years ago, and go see live music. You'd be surprised on how much talent there is out there. Plus, if you do like I do, there's a lot of shows like there's a comedy show that our boys doing tonight, and I'm probably going to go stop in and just drop in for 45 minutes, which is the typical me. Just say hey to everybody, and
It's a lot of time.
and get a taste. Get a taste of it. And a lot of people write it off, but you'd find that
Man, I went to a rap show that was part of a show they put on at the Foundation Room, House of Blues,
Oh, nice.
and it was awesome. It was two girls, a duo, and the energy was just so crazy. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, I think that's
And I don't listen to rap at all.
I've been to a few rap shows that are awesome.
Yeah, I was blown
Got to
away.
see
I was like,
DMX live before he passed.
I was like, I need to do this again because this was really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thoroughly
that
enjoyed.
made me really sad when DMX was supposed to be at Wildcatter at one point.
Yes.
And I was looking forward to that one.
Yes.
hey, way to ruin that for everybody.
Yeah, no, we just had to go ahead and conveniently die.
Happens.
I know.
That was terrible. Please edit that out.
For us too, it's the community, right? A lot of people think scary music, scary people. Not the case.
No, not
it's
at all.
One of
That's-
the best
No.
fan bases and communities.
Yeah, that's-
I've ever
And
been a
people in
part
the
of.
music industry are so freaking cool.
Yeah.
They just
Oh man,
the
it's
99% of them are just
Yeah, I wondered.
awesome people.
I wondered about that when I first started going out, and like, man, I know this is so welcoming and cool. Yeah, this is really.
They will hug you as sweaty as they
Yes.
can get. They'll
Oh,
still
yes.
get there and hug you, and it's just
Well,
it's awesome.
Like from touring, it's having friends all over the country, all over Canada, worldwide. It's awesome.
Have
It's
you
like
toured to
these
Canada?
People, yeah, we've been in Canada.
Holy crap. That's
All
awesome.
over West and East Side. This last time we got to go from the West this was the first time. Went up
Like,
to
BC?
Vancouver and Edmonton and Calgary and all that kind of stuff. So went through the Canadian Rockies. Which,
Wow.
we stopped at Mount Robson, which was an insane experience.
Kind of British Columbia, Alberta.
Yeah, and it was during the wintertime. So it
Wow.
it was
Jesus
cold,
Christ!
snow,
It had to
and
be.
it was-
It has to be
it was
kind of
pretty awesome.
high up too, because those are extreme
Oh, yeah.
Rockies.
That's way up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. There's one route. Like there's one road. You take one road, and it's like you go through all the mountains and everything, and it was crazy. We stopped. We planned to stop one night because we're still road dogs when we tour. So
Y'all are
we
pulling
still
trailer
sleep in the
too?
van. No,
Okay, good.
We consolidate down, and we don't.
Yeah.
We
Bare minimum,
we can
baby.
Fit into a 15 passenger van. We live in that thing for
Good.
a month at a time. We
Yeah.
sleep in the van. We truck stop it. Like we're road dogs. But we picked this mountain town, right? So you play. And to get done, we always try to drive a few hours the night of the show, get ready for the next show. And we picked this mountain town. We're like, we'll stop here, we'll eat, be great. Everything's open late, looks awesome. We get in and it's just pitch black. And there's nobody around and nothing's open. And we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And literally a week before, this whole town had burned down. And they
Oh,
evacuated
wow.
the
Oh my
whole town.
God.
The downtown part was fine, but like all the residential
He
areas
strolled right into Silent
literally
Hill.
burned down.
Wow.
Yeah, it was literally like a real life Silent Hill experience, and it was like one of the other bands on
That's
tour
creepy.
had stopped there too. We see them running out in the streets, just like running around, and we're like, "What? What are they doing?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Bro, there's no cars. Like nobody's here. Like there's literally no people in this town."
Interesting.
It was crazy.
So you're basically saying that you're a veteran of the Terry Fox Highway or whatever that runs through Canada. Yeah.
Waiting for the zombies to come
Waiting
out,
for-
right?
Yeah, 100%. It was wild. But yeah, it was a really cool experience getting some international stuff and playing up there.
Yeah.
And then this May, we just announced we're going to Europe. We're doing I think 17 shows in Europe.
Everybody's going to Europe this year, man.
Man, that's so cool.
So here to go.
I'm so
It's
jealous.
Extreme
Finally,
metal in
like
Europe is
it's finally
a whole
back.
nother ballgame.
Yeah,
Easy to get over
Yeah,
there,
Drowning
easy to get
Pool
around,
is.
so.
They're going
Yeah,
this year too. Yeah.
should be a good time.
Drowning Pool. I haven't heard about them in a while.
That's a shame. You should hear about them.
They played
Doug,
Wildcatter
they're slacking.
They got
Yeah.
Ryan back. Yeah, because they did the show at
with no vocalist.
with
right?
no vocalist.
Yeah.
They were covered it in Ryan. That was right before Ryan came back, and yeah, they've popped. Man, new metal had a big
There's-
boost last year. If you
There is
saw,
a resurgence of new metal.
yeah, if you should see the video that I shot at Rockville last year. Oh my God, man! I was like, this is insane, you know, and it was
How many
fantastic.
people? What's the crowd like, numbers wise? Rockville.
I don't know. They probably had. I mean, it's at Daytona International Speedway, and it was packed
there.
as far as you could see.
Wow.
I'm gonna show you a video after that. It
I was just there. Daytona's beautiful.
Yeah.
My first time. I was there for work.
That was my
Literally there
first
for
time as
24
well.
Hours.
Last year too.
That's awesome. Yeah, those big open air festivals. It's cool. The U.S. is starting to have those. We didn't really have that. It's more of a European type.
Danny Wimmer has those things going, you know, and I did that with them. Then we went and I did the one in Columbus, Ohio. God dang it, I can't remember that name, which is the one right after that. But I skipped Louder Than Life and Aftershock only because I had 2 surgeries. So yeah,
We did do Gettysburg, July.
yeah, and we did Gettysburg in between. Yeah, we try and do. Y'all do any of those bike week things? You know.
Oh, nothing like that. We did. We just did Full Terror Assault, which is one of those big ones out in the middle of. I mean, it was a campground.
I would say, is that the desert one
I'm
or?
trying to remember where it is.
That was
North
in
of Tennessee. Can't remember this. Can't remember. It's drawing a blank right now. But we literally. It was like you literally pull into the campground and your cell phone service goes away.
Oh,
Your map
yeah.
stops working. And you're
It's
like,
kind of like Rocklahoma.
what the
That
hell?
sucks.
Like it's out in the middle
Was
of nowhere.
it in
But it was-
Indiana?
no, I can't remember.
man.
But it was amazing.
Wow.
It was a great experience, great time. People out there camping for 4 days, you know, and having a party. We played the last day, which was cool. The one thing I didn't like about it is like the disconnect from the crowd. Like you're on the stage, right? And you're way up top and you're looking down, and it's like
Yeah, that's kind of a
40.
loss of
My guitar player's 40 feet to my left. You know,
loss
the
of
stage is so
energy.
big.
You
It's
lose
like,
some
yeah.
energy when you do that. Yeah.
I definitely prefer the smaller rooms. Like in the last couple tours we've been on, we have had the ability to do both. Like it's kind of like a back and forth. Like some cities will do the big rooms, the big theaters that are cool. But then you get those smaller rooms, man, where there's barely a stage off the ground.
Yeah.
The fans are right in your face. That for me is where it's at. Like,
It is. It's
definitely
cool.
prefer
Yeah,
that.
it's
I
a cool
prefer
feel.
150 people in a room that are right in your face
Right.
to a couple thousand.
I love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
20
I've got.
feet away.
You know, I've got. We talk about that all the time. I've got venues around the country that you know. Of course, I love the Houston ones, but I'm talking about when I get out, and Machine Shop is my number one favorite. Period. The end.
Where's that one
Nice.
at?
Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
I love
Small.
Pierre's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Is fantastic. You know, there's a bunch of good ones, man.
We played a place in Milwaukee called the X-Ray Arcade, and it's incredible.
That place was
Small.
awesome.
It's amazing. That was a good time. And then, man, I'm gonna hate myself because I can't remember the name of it. There's an old church just outside the city limits of Pittsburgh that they renovated
That
and
sounds cool.
turned into a venue.
That
And
does
it's-
sound very
it's-
cool.
It's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
One of our.
It's
I can
awesome.
only imagine the desecration that goes on in that.
Right.
But that's like, but if you think about it, that's like it's what got her and I when we started the production company, started booking shows. Kind of full circle back to that. That's the goal. That's the goal for us. We wanted to book shows, get a reputation for booking shows, and then putting on good performances, and then eventually open our own venue and do it from the same mindset. Right.
Oh, that'd be
A lot
awesome.
of these venues are built. And they're not considering loading gear, which
Right.
drives me insane. When they're
Yes.
like, okay, you go up this flight of stairs, down that hallway,
Yes.
hang a right,
Boy,
second
that's-
flight of stairs, and it's
yeah.
like, and as a DIY band, right? I mean, who's well, loading your own gear every day,
Yeah.
loading your own merch every night.
By the time you're
it's a
on
pain in
stage,
the
you're
ass.
exhausted.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
and then it's cyclical. You do that every night. And it's
Yeah.
these venues that are just in whatever building they could have gotten in. So, but that church we played got my gears thinking because it's like they're set up perfectly. The worship centers are set up
Yeah.
perfectly for acoustics and sound. They've
Oh, yeah.
got classrooms that are green rooms. Most of
Right.
them have a kitchen. They have their own parking lot. They
Yes.
own the land.
Yes.
So we see a lot of these cool venues fail. You'll love a venue for 10, 15 years, and then it goes away. And why? Even the historic CBGBs in New York, right?
Right.
50,
Yeah.
50 years
I know, right?
of music. And then one day the landlord's like, don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
You
Yeah.
guys are out. And
That's
that
crazy, yeah.
sucks. And
Well,
so
they
that's
see
like,
how much money you're making. They want a piece of the pie. So,
so
it's
when,
like,
Yeah.
when we look at it, we're like, man, I don't want to rent a location. You got to own the building and you got to own the property, or it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that too, man. I didn't want all the other headaches, but yeah,
Come on, Doug, build us a venue.
No, see, I love just
take one for the team.
I know.
I love doing 45 minutes in of responsibility, then I'm out. Then in and out.
We don't need you there. We just need you to turn the lights on.
Yeah, just let us in. You can go home after that. We don't need you there.
We'd have to bury that one under like 50,000 LLCs so you couldn't get sued.
And that's the thing, man. It's tough. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
And musicians aren't just musicians. You got day jobs to worry about.
Yeah.
You've got it's especially in the style of music I play. Right. It's like
Yeah.
we're not going to ever pay the bills. And I mean, people. This last year, Stabbing signed a contract with Century Media, so everybody's like, "Oh man, big name record label, it must be awesome." And it's like, well, it is what it is. Like we're still doing everything on the other side. Like the work's still done by us. It's still a grind. We still have day jobs.
And you still have to keep your job.
It's not paying the bills by any means.
Yeah.
So it's
And you talk about venues. Look what happened to your boy with. With the rail, try to, goddamn, I can't remember his name right now. It escapes me. But, I've been to rail 50 billion times and, COVID came. Well, anyhow, these guys pulled together and they ended up buying the rail from the guy who had it for years. And one of them kind of screws the other two. They get back on their feet and then COVID comes and does crack in the teeth. And it's so sad, man, because, it killed it. It's a totally different experience today.
It's wild. Like my favorite venues in Houston don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Meridian was one of the best. We were talking last night with some friends about the International Ballroom.
Fitzgerald's
is a parking lot, and that makes me sad.
I think Acadia closed down too, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Northside
that was one of the last standing ones.
Had been around for a long time.
They moved Warehouse Live. Warehouse Live was in the perfect venue for the perfect sound.
And now it's in the worst parking area.
Now it's in a glass metal building.
It's like it feels like a sauna in there.
And that place, so Rise Rooftop, it was before. Yeah. And before they built those high rises around it, it actually was pretty sweet because it was outside. It didn't have a roof.
And you got a breeze, and there was
trust me, I was there when it started to pour down snow. I know.
I like that feeling though. And then they put that top on it, and it's like, oh, this is acoustics.
Yeah, and the sound is really hard to get.
And I have to give a shout out to Bino that owns the Pub 529 because he went through the ringer trying to keep that place open as well, and
that had to be hard
during COVID.
That and even recently, the Pub 529 is not the busiest venue around.
So you think he's just like making even? You think?
I mean, it does good.
Yeah.
With karaoke night, but I really try to help him out by bringing as many shows as I can there because
that puts people in the door.
Yeah, one good night. I mean, that pays the rent for a week. So it's like
we book pretty much exclusively there.
And he lets me do whatever. It's not necessarily an extreme metal bar. I mean, we have
you've had my band there, and we're like alternative.
Yeah, country music,
girl rock.
I love. Side note, Dollhouse was awesome.
Thank you.
But I try to bring as many shows as I can to him because he deserves it. He's really good to me as a boss. I mean, I don't work there full time, but
he gets it too because he's a musician.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool. I didn't know that.
The musician plight, right? So it's it helps
Bryce
out the
Crispy scene. And he plays violin and
who's a
Chad
killer
Cook band?
violinist.
Not Chad Cook. I forgot that country band. He's gonna kill me for this.
Yeah.
My bad, Bino.
So he plays violin, fiddle.
Dude, he's a monster at it.
Wow.
Monster.
I'll have to look that up. That's cool.
He's really good.
That is very cool.
We appreciate all kinds of music, So
same here. Yeah.
It's easy to appreciate somebody.
Yeah, and we'll book anything. So anybody who hears this and is looking to book a show in Houston on the West Side.
Yeah.
I've got
D
some
Productions.
Yeah,
I know Jade tried to give me credit earlier, but she is the working force behind this.
We'll have to.
I just push people in emails to her. She does all the grunt work.
Yeah, like right now I'm planning a 2-day death metal festival at the pub, which is Gulf Coast Death Fest 4, which is our second year hosting it here in Houston, and actually originates in Corpus Christi. And my buddy Edward, we had such a good, successful year last year that we're like, hey, let's do it again this year. At the same place. So, I mean, that in itself is a...
And y'all have the best parking ever.
Oh, God.
And non-smoking.
It's not
I
smoking
love.
on the inside. Thank God
Oh,
for that.
no.
I can't deal with the
I love it.
smoking venues.
I
Yeah.
love Gulf Coast because we utilize both stages, the inside and the outside.
Oh yeah,
And
and 529 has an outside
Yeah.
stage as well.
That's
Yeah.
what we did last year. And,
Okay, so y'all did it on the outside
Mm-hmm.
stage.
I don't know if you know who Brent Champagne is.
I do know Brent.
But
Yeah,
he provided the sound equipment on
we're
the
gonna try to
outside.
have Brent on too. As
Oh,
well.
Yeah, didn't
it-
we talk about him recently? Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, he provides. Well,
great.
anytime I need
He owns a
sound
lot of the
guys,
sound equipment and runs sound guys around Houston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he anytime I need a sound guy for a show, he's the first person to be I hit up.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
professional.
oh yeah,
everything.
and then everything the guys know what they're
yeah,
doing,
they
and
come
then
in, they're impressive.
the outside stage at the pub doesn't have their own sound equipment outside. So whenever we hit him up, he gave us a great deal on the equipment and
Yeah.
2 sound guys with a helper, and
Wow.
I mean the outside stage got nothing but compliments.
Wow.
So,
One of the things we try to do is show runs on time, right? Historically, it's like, oh, metal show, it's going to be late.
Oh.
So it's like, no, our shows are going to run on time. And,
Yeah.
and so far, so good. We've had success with that. Even last year, 33 bands?
30, it was like 28 because you know you have
it's
people that
across,
drop.
across 2 days, 2 stages. And when I put the times together and everybody saw them, they're like, "That what?
No way.
5 minutes in between each band?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you have 30-minute breakdown time because we're running 2 stages back to back, one the other, one the other, one the
Yeah.
other."
Now, can you read the names of the band on there, or is
last year? No, not
You just have to
really.
know the time.
Or you just turn it sideways?
I
like,
mean, I will.
No, we put set times. We actually use the font, the type font, right? Not,
Yeah,
not the
you
band
better.
logo.
Times New
so
Roman.
You know, yeah, Times New Roman band name, so you know
Yeah.
what time your
Yeah,
band's
but I
going
mean,
on. But it worked flawlessly over 2 nights. First,
That's awesome.
I borrowed that from Les Watkins, who does Slam Dakota up in North Dakota, South Dakota, where Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah, and then we discovered that festival during COVID when everything shut down in 2020, and Sioux Falls was like, "Nah, man, we'll do a show." So we went up there, and but like she utilized the 2 stages and
Yeah.
the 5-minute breaks in between, and I was like, "This is possible. This is
Yeah.
amazing," and it worked. And the number one thing about these multi-day festivals is day 1's fun. By day 2, you're tired. You're
Yeah.
exhausted. You're standing around. It's like, oh,
You're hungover from the night
you're
before.
waiting for
Your feet
for
hurt.
it to end, right? And what everybody said after day 1 of Gulf Coast last year was, "Man, it's over. It's over." Like I didn't even realize that was the last band, like because it's
Wow.
music,
Yeah.
and it's like there's just always music going on. So it's
well, that's a good thing, man. Shifting from one stage to the other, pop,
Yeah.
pop,
Yeah.
pop. Yeah,
go
and
back and forth.
yeah, Daytona, they do that, with those festivals too, because there's multiple stages,
Right.
So
Right. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
We were even part of the
Keeps
show
everybody
in
engaged at all times.
White Oak Music Hall that did that. There was upstage, downstairs,
Yeah.
and upstairs,
Yeah.
and they would switch back and forth. It was
I
pretty
like
cool.
that. I like that venue.
Yeah.
I like the
I don't like how
downstairs and the
expensive their
outside.
alcohol is.
Yeah, that's a downfall, and the parking sucks.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
that
one of those
too.
things. They're a victim of renting that
Yeah.
that location, right?
Yeah.
So as things go up and as that
But
neighborhood
sound in there is
complains and-
incredible.
oh, yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
they have to
Incredible.
be. You have to figure that whoever owns that is trying to squeeze them out. You have to figure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
because-
neighborhood hates them.
Yeah.
yeah, the
neighborhood
neighborhood does.
hates it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it is.
I think they tried to sue them, right? Or-
Yeah, there's been multiple times they've gone.
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
try
because
to shut
my,
them
my
down.
oldest used to live in the Heights, and I remember it wasn't too far from her place, So
So kudos to them for just keeping it up and keeping it going.
Yeah, they do the same thing in the Woodlands. Have you ever noticed that now they don't turn the speakers on in the lawn section?
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
single
wow. I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Speakers.
Every single time I've gone, like I've went to a Korn concert at the Woodlands,
it's
and
there.
I was like,
I didn't realize that.
you can't hear anything in the
Yeah.
back. And I was like, I could have a
It's
better
like
concert
after-
experience inside my car
I
at
think
this
it's after
point.
like 10 p.m. They,
You didn't,
Wow.
you didn't
Okay.
see me in the front row doing F them people. No, just get out into that.
Hey, and that's 100% me these days. I turned 40 this last year.
gotta
and
sit
so
down.
Now I am the guy in the back with my arms folded, like
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Yeah, I
I'm
used to
watching
do
the
that,
show.
but no,
or
I-
get me some seats up.
Get
There's
me
an
some
seats.
ability to have seats.
Yeah.
We're in seats.
Yeah, I used to never do that, but yeah, now I love it for those. And
All of our friends made fun of us. We got a VIP table at the Suffocation show at was that where the new warehouse?
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
up. We're like the only people sitting at this.
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
And all of our friends are like, "What are y'all doing?" I was like, "Sitting."
My moshing days are over, and that
Yeah.
was as of last year. After
Standing on a concrete floor is not fun.
Well, it's not even that. It's like moshing now is so different. I mean,
Yeah, break some, fracture some ribs,
I mean,
and
they
then tell me
fight
how
you
much
in
fun
the
it
pit,
is.
and
Yeah. No, thank you.
that's one of those things that we've had to make peace with. And for a long time, we're like, what the hell are you guys doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you hitting me? But it's like
Yeah,
now
they're flailing their arms about.
Knowledge,
It's like,
knowledge is power, you know. But
so me, I'm too small to be in the pit. I mean, I got knocked the hell out.
Texas Domination
Texas
Fest.
Domination Fest in Dallas. I mean, I got caught in the crossfire of a fight and had
Wow.
a big old knot in my head. And they went to go look for Matt, and they're like, "Oh, she's fine," and I was. But I learned a very hard
Could have
lesson
been
that
bad,
day.
though.
Yeah. Stay out of the pit.
Did you bleed? Did you bleed? Did they call?
I bled a little
Did
bit.
did they call you Crimson Day?
I mean, that's
Did you
a
get
good
that
one.
Avenged Sevenfold reference?
I will admit to being a fan of Avenged Sevenfold when they first started. Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, Waking the Fallen, 2 good records. Saw them at Fitzgerald's upstairs. This is a fun story. People are always like, "What's the biggest band you've seen that's an arena band now?" And you saw them before they blew up. Upstairs, Fitzgerald's, My Chemical Romance opening, who didn't even have a record contract. This is like 2004, 2005, I think, and like 40 people.
wow.
That was it.
2004.
2004, 2005.
I think I was 13.
Yeah. Well, now see, we had this discussion yesterday, and we've had it before too. That especially in that genre, you know, with the calligraphy genre. There's just some things vocally, baby. You can't keep doing. And you know, you better train your voice.
Yeah,
you know, because
it's a technique.
It's a burn, dude.
But it's a technique too, and a lot of the people that burn out as they get older, it's because of years of abuse and not doing it right.
Yeah,
you can absolutely train your vocals to do that style. And if you warm up,
anybody can.
It's your vocal cords are a muscle. You know, you're working it out. You're doing it. It's all about your diaphragm and breathing techniques and how you're projecting and how you're doing it. There's no way I could do it.
You should do a demonstration.
No.
Since you know.
There's no way I can do it. But,
you do,
like my
do you do
vocalist-
backups in your band?
No, I don't. I stay away from that because I
Straight
can't
up
do it
bass.
right because I don't take the time to learn that proper technique and do it right. And I've done it in the past, and I've done it in karaoke. And the next day I can't talk. You know, it's raspy. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not doing it right.
And you know, those guys are going out and doing 4 or 5 nights a week, and man, it just pop. You know, and how long is that going to last? You know,
with our vocalist Bridget, we on the Suffo tour, we did 32 shows, doing that every night, back and forth, and it doesn't bother her at all because you do it properly and you take care of that. Your instrument, right? When you're a vocalist, that's what you're doing.
So you have a female vocalist.
And stabbing, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I dig
no,
that.
you're not stabbing Westford. You're just stabbing.
No,
right.
Okay.
Anytime you search it, stabbing Westward is like the first thing that comes up.
Yeah. But you know, we're talking about that voice, and you know, a lot of these bands, man, they, like you talk about the Fisher. You start small, you know, man. You're playing in your garage, and next thing you know, you're playing.
Yep.
Then if you get any traction, it's like, well, when are you going to have time? You see a lot of these guys that are older going back and doing the vocal training before they have to go back and do the vocal surgery, you know, which is
100%.
We've been able to see some of, you know, our friends and bands that blew up. I mean, besides stabbing, I mean, they were playing White Swan at one point, and then now they're touring, you know, well, they've toured with some of the biggest names, and then another one is Peeling Flesh.
Yeah.
They're based out of Oklahoma, and I mean, I mean, a couple years ago, no one knew who they were, and now they're on sold out shows every night. So
they just did their first headlining U.S. tour that sold out every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every day.
That's pretty big,
and
man.
We saw them when they first started back when my other band, Architectural Genocide, would play a show with them. We'd play with 20 people, 20, 30 people. And then to see them go from that kind of an aspect to blowing up and literally selling out their own headlining tour was pretty awesome.
That's
pretty
pretty
good size venues, like 500 cap and up. So
yeah,
it's
that's
like you're
that's
talking,
decent. That's
And
good.
another one is I don't really listen to them anymore, but a lot of people know who Lorna Shore is. Lorna Shore is a big deathcore band. It's a different genre of metal, obviously, but
one of those subgenres.
But they played at the Secret Group where we were last
The name
night.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
And now they're selling out shows at White Oak. I mean, so it's like
I think I saw that name just pop up recently.
I mean, it's crazy to see where things progress over the years and in such a short amount of time. I mean, 2 years ago, you wouldn't have known who Lorna Shore was from. unless you're a deathcore fan. But now, like seeing the sold out shows everywhere, I mean, it's an honor to watch.
Yeah, I think the female front vocalist in heavy, like death, brutal metal, it's very popular.
That's his thing, man.
That is my thing.
Oh, yeah.
I love the
coming up.
balance of it. You know, I just love the balance of female vocal and the
If
brutal
you
guitars
listen-
and drums.
If you listen to Stabbing, I mean, without knowing that
You
they
wouldn't
have a
know.
woman vocalist, you wouldn't know the difference. I mean, there's been so many.
But
people,
live, you can see that
Oh
happening.
my god! And the
People
thing
dig
is,
it.
the energy is insane. Like when people discover that it's a woman vocalist.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's what a big selling point. Unfortunately,
is.
I mean,
It is what it is, you know?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Another friend of mine, Haley, she plays in Gore. She's an aerospace engineer.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
But
That's awesome.
She's been doing extreme metal for a long time. And she's taken off really, really
Yeah.
quickly. And I mean, she does the whole female empowerment. Everything's pink and
Yeah.
black. So, I mean, there's a selling
cool.
point where it comes to that. And aside from being extremely talented, but
Yeah, some people see it as sexist because you're putting the female up there, but I see it as like powerful.
that's a big thing for me because I know a lot of people think that it is misogynistic or sexist to point out that somebody's a woman. But anytime that argument ever comes up, I'm like, hey, like I have 2 little girls myself, and when they see that there's a woman on stage up there, and they're like, oh wow, I can do that too.
It's inspiring.
It's inspiring me. I mean,
Yeah.
So I don't really think that that's something to be offended about.
I think it's just awesome because you're like,
Yeah,
holy
talent
shit,
is
that
not-
girl's doing
it's
that.
not people
Yeah.
doing
Talent
it.
is talent. I don't care what gender,
Right.
color.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
give a damn.
That's what I was going to
But
say.
a lot of
It's-
times
it's
people
not,
don't-
They're not doing it just to do it.
they
It's
don't
not like,
see,
hey,
like,
this is a female, so we're
A lot of
putting her
girls
out
don't
there.
see that as an opportunity that they can,
Yeah.
they
Right.
can,
I mean,
go for.
you inspire people. I mean,
Yeah.
my little girl Amy, she loves the whole extreme metal too, and it has a lot to do with who her stepdad is. But yeah, like I always try to say, like one of our other friends, Morgan, she's a killer
Sick
guitar player.
Yeah.
And she plays in Emasculator. They're actually about to tour with Stabbing in Europe as well. And
and shout out to the like School of Rock
yeah.
Yes,
people here
100%.
around.
Absolutely.
I think that's
100%.
so cool because you're seeing a lot more female musicians coming out,
Oh yeah.
and it blows my mind.
Well, they had
It's so
Amy,
cool.
like, when she was saying Amy was interested in music, loves it, wants to be a part of it, doesn't know what to do. Saw videos of Morgan playing guitar and Morgan shreds, and she
Yeah.
saw these videos and was like, oh, I can do that.
And aside
Like,
from
I
the
can
fact that she's
play
an
like that.
amazing guitar player, she's
Yeah.
drop dead gorgeous too. So it's
And
like,
man, yeah.
that's a big inspiring
Yeah,
point.
because you become the whole package,
Yeah.
and you can.
Well, and talent's talent, like you were
Yeah.
saying, talent's talent. It's not one thing. We got to play with Kitty up in New York for
yeah.
a show. They played a sold out show at the Warsaw in Brooklyn with them, and they're talented. They rip. They
Yeah.
put on a hell of a show. It's like female
Yeah.
or not, they're talented
Yeah.
musicians.
Now, is I was going to ask you this: is the centralized fan base for metalcore or for that death metal? Is it still like Nordic Europe and Mexico City? Is that the two
It's
places?
a little bit of everything. I mean,
Everything now, the States has a really, really, really good fan base, but of course, the Europe is where it's at for that stuff.
Yeah.
But in Mexico, pretty
Mexico too. Mexico City.
Yeah.
There's a big festival out of Mexico City.
Yeah.
And,
Colombia,
it's down in
Bogota.
Colombia, Bogota. Daniel Paz down in Bogota, Colombia. He's doing great, bringing
Wow.
a ton of bands down there every year for Bogota Death and Grind Fest.
That's so cool.
And it's the cool thing is it's on the international shows too. Like bands aren't going there all the time, so when you do go, it's take care of
Yeah.
you, treated very well, and then the fans are just so appreciative.
Yeah, then
You're
so
there
please
playing
come back.
music.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah,
Buying
it's-
your
it's-
merch.
It's amazing. Oh yeah. That's one of the reasons why we're really looking forward to doing the Europe run, because every time we post a tour announcement, it's in the U.S. or just the North America. We comment after comment of come to Europe,
Yeah.
do this, and we're sprinkled into this tour we're doing. We're doing 4 festivals while we're over there, so we're really excited for that too. That should be a really good time.
Yeah.
It's good because that's a lot of times that's where you can make your coin.
100%.
Yeah.
That and the fact of the matter is that playing these fests, especially the do-it-yourself fest, I mean, that gives you a lot of exposure.
It does. Yeah.
I mean, we have friends from Chile.
Wow.
Their band is Esophagus, And I mean, because they played, Gulf Coast Death Fest last year, they got an opportunity to tour in the U.S. And I'm not saying that, we're responsible for that, but they met people and, their name got more of a household name in our scene. So it helps,
Yeah.
So
100%.
I mean, that's the best part about the scene is that you never know where you're gonna go,
Right.
and you never know how fast you're gonna. Take
And you
off.
never know who's going to be in the audience.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
that's what's important.
I'm talking to people from Extreme Metal Management, and I'm communicating with some of the biggest names. I mean, I get to exchange text message with Ryan from New Standard Elite. Like Why am I the person talking to this person? But
well, you're very likable, so that's good.
Thank you.
You got great energy.
Yeah, we'll have to put together because I'm trying to get it to where we have more of a concert calendar on our site weekly, and
Nice.
I
That would be
definitely need to get with you on some of the stuff you do. 'Cause
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
a few of the people doing what you do, it's always a good idea to talk to y'all. That way, we kind of
Yeah, because y'all keeping it alive, man.
Well, I've
you're
been
keeping
doing
it going.
for 2 years, and I mean, it doesn't seem like a long time, but with the
It goes
amount
by
of,
fast.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a learning. You learn something new every single time.
Yeah.
You learn the different personalities, how to deal with them. I mean, the last thing anybody wants is, especially if you're in a band, for me to be coming up and be like, "Hey, it's time to get on stage. Why haven't you sound check yet?" Like, so it's kind of one of those things where you have to learn everybody's personality and just kind of roll with the punches when it comes to that. I mean, last year, there was a couple hiccups in Gulf Coast Death Fest where I'm like, why do I have to tell you this?
Yeah.
So it's just
You're supposed to be professional.
That,
professional.
and then standing your ground.
Yeah.
Not letting people just walk all over you because you're a little timid about it.
There's always that one band that wants to
you
take
need
as
to
much
go.
time.
You need to
or
go. You need to go. John Janash on 'em.
overplay.
Yeah,
we gotta-
yeah. Rest in peace, John. I mean, I used to watch him. As sick as he was just running the show.
And he would throw those hands up. 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes.
That's how I am. Like I kind of play that role for us, where it's like I would joke with one of our photographer buddies, Israel, where he'll be like, "Hey, we'll cut your set."
Yeah.
We have.
Like, hey, you sound. I have. Hey, man, why'd we only play for 15 minutes? Because you sound checked for 30.
Yeah, you took 30,
Like,
30
you're
minutes
right.
to load your drums up.
Like, come on, and this isn't y'all's first rodeo, so
Yeah.
especially if I know you and you know me and we're friends and you do play one of our shows, like, you know the drill, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Get on, get off. Let's go.
Friends are supposed to support friends.
Shout
man.
out to all drummers who take their drums off the stage before breaking them down.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not taking each little bolt, but no. Do you have anywhere in particular that people can reach out and see what shows?
For maybe like for your
Yeah,
band
L&D
stuff.
Productions. I have a Facebook page. And
L&D?
L&D.
L&D.
It's a little bit hard to find it at first because you have to actually put the space perfectly.
Now,
in
is it
between.
an L? The and sign?
Yes.
And sign
Yes.
D Productions, and then you can find it on Instagram the same
We
way.
decided to go with productions because we didn't want to just do shows. Eventually, we'll branch out and do other things.
That's cool.
Videos
Yeah, we have
and stuff.
multiple friends around the country that y'all could do some tie-ins with. So.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
we got the L&D from her last name was Landry and I was Day. So
Okay.
that's where the L&D comes in.
I love the fact that she's got that South Louisiana tie. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do too because the food is amazing.
yeah.
Damn right.
She said they use a lot of Tony Satcheries at their house.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Always stock up on that stuff.
Yeah.
Good. We'll have a parting gift for y'all today.
Awesome.
nice.
And looking forward to it.
Nice.
All right. Anything else you want to pimp before we kick you
And
to
how
the
do we
curb?
how do we find your bands?
Yeah, it's all the socials as well. All the streaming services, everything's on there. Stabbing is one. Traditional spelling, stabbing. Architectural genocide is the other.
I've seen that one before, and that's
that's-
a calligraphy name.
That's that. Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
It is. Both of those bands will be releasing new music this year.
Cool.
Both records are recorded, done. Waiting
Wow.
on artwork for one, waiting on a label for the other. And
do y'all
then,
go to all platforms?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, both bands are on all platforms right now. So.
Okay.
Very cool.
And on all the Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Now, when you search for stabbing, you've got to agree that you're cool with what you're going to see.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I always thought it was funny that like when you do a search for stabbing, it's like, are you sure you want to see this? But then you search for architectural genocide, it takes you straight to us.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, there's no are you sure on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So every time I think of that, what you just said, I'm like in my mind, I'm seeing either the Pinhead movies and like some of the dark scenes. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now. But
it's part of it, It's part of the imagery, right? It's all imagery. It's all just part of it. Yeah, but we've got some music videos that are coming. Well, one for sure
cool.
that'll come out this year that we did for AG. That's a good time. It's like a little mini horror movie that we had a lot of fun filming. So.
And when can they catch you at 529? What nights are you there?
I'm usually there on Saturdays. I work a day job, so that's kind of like my part-time gig whenever I need some extra money. But
so if somebody came in Saturday, they could actually sit down and talk with you.
oh, absolutely, or they can just
Yeah, if
message
they're
me
not
on
there,
Facebook.
just message the production page, and Jade handles all of that. Again, I'm on it. I help her do some things. I give my advice with some connections. But when it comes to the grunt work and who the true mastermind behind the production company is, it's definitely her.
So it takes the warrior. Good teamwork.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Teamwork makes it happen. For sure.
Absolutely.
I couldn't do it without him. But I mean,
That's cool.
it is what it is. We're gonna keep.
You're gonna keep him.
Yeah, I'll keep him around.
Keep him around.
Yeah.
well, hey, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
We
coming
really
out.
appreciate being here. Thanks for having us. Had a great time.
We'll have to do it again. You have to bring some of your bandmates.
Yeah, we could do one with each of them.
That'd be cool,
fun.
man.
For sure.
But thank you guys for inviting me. I was like, why do they want to talk to me?
Oh, you'll find out when you get here.
You're making stuff happen. You're keeping music going,
Yeah.
and you're bringing music to Houston from all over.
Yeah, to
I think
the best of my ability.
that's
So,
huge, man.
Yeah, it's very uplifting, and
That's huge.
to work with different people, I think that's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, being able to say that I know so many people, even in Europe, all over,
That's awesome.
like the fact that I'm not a musician, so for me to still be as heavily involved in it and being a part of it, it's an honor. So
But you know what sounds good?
what?
You know what sounds good? Music.
Oh
What
yeah.
sounds good.
Well, yeah.
You could
Wait,
use this
what?
all.
And that's how this started.
What sounds
Right?
good?
Fans first.
What
Fans
sounds
first.
good
That's
can be
right.
Why did I
subjective.
start playing
know.
music?
Without
Because I
a
was
fan, yeah.
I got into playing because I was a fan. She
That's
got into
right.
booking because she was a fan.
She's a
And
fan.
It's like as fans of music, you
She
want to
knows
see it
good
grow
music, and she's going to
progress.
bring it to you.
Yeah,
Isn't
and I
it-
just want to reiterate too that just because I play extreme metal and that's the majority of what we book, hit us up even if you're not in that genre
Yeah.
because we will book shows that are.
We know
not
you love
that.
Madonna,
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
You have a Madonna tribute band? Bring it to me.
Oh.
right? There you go. I would love to see that.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, thanks
L&D
again for coming.
Productions.
Yeah, for sure. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Doug,
Thank
take us
you.
out of this, man.
This is the Nonsense Chronicles. Please like and subscribe, even though if you're going to do that, that's fine. But, downloading is where we really get our notice. How many downloads we get. You can download it and then delete it after. I don't care. But anyhow, that's it. Thank you for joining the Nonsense Chronicles. And we are out.
Later.